Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. No music this time, so we're just gonna do it regular. Thanks for putting up with that. You know, we're trying different things, so music sometimes is good to have in the background, but this time we're not gonna use any music. We're looking at a pareidolia type of art made by prehistoric humans. You can see how there's a yelling mouth character with the eye, of course, positioned here, the nose and the open mouth. And at different angles and in different ways, you can see how this is representing a human being just kind of yelling out to the sky there. And down below, you can see how there's the carving for the eye, how there's a diamond shape, a circle. And looking at the bottom of that eye, you can see how there's little ripples and indentions there. And just right here, this little line, there's a little smiley face. So there's a nose, and you may be seeing the eye here. You may be seeing it back here. There's probably 2 or 3 different eyes for the image. Believe it or not, just looking at this section here, this is actually an eye. And we'll be able to look at the image that that eye is for here in a moment. Let's go ahead and zoom out, and I'll show you how, of course, you see these images, and this is all of the yellow hair coming back. This is probably the person's neck. You can see how the chin is separated, the face is separated here, the eye, of course, being here, the brow, the eyebrow, and then the rest of the face here. And we can put some red light up next to this a little bit closer so that you guys can see maybe some different angles, because that is really what the art is about, looking at it from different edges and different sides. Now this does have still the orange paint on it. There's a ochre, red ochre rust paint. See the yellow and the orange there on this. And at different heights and at different levels, you can see how the image comes out a little bit differently. And I don't want to bore you guys, but for me, I think it's super fascinating. You know, I don't want to go over the same images. If you guys are able to see it, I think it's incredible. Here we have what's representing a bird, it looks like, on the right-hand side. So I can see the small little ripple for the beak, you know, the round beak, and then the circle eye. You can see how the carving is done very easily right there. And the little crest, weird little crest that it has. You can see how the top of the head is kind of denoted right here, and then the rest of the bird coming back, perhaps. It's very interpretive, and it's probably a bird and a human mixed in together. That's why it doesn't just look like the one image. So on this stone, there's a whole lot to see, and we're gonna go over just a few of the images that are on here, because if we went too deep into it, it would just get, well, too deep. Of course, on every corner and every edge, there are little bird heads. These little spots are the bird's eyes. You can see these circles here. There's one bird head upside down. It's to us right now. This is the beak of it. And there's another bird facing kind of downward here. Let's go ahead and turn this up right, and then maybe we can see the birds in the way that they're supposed to be shown, so you can see how they're stacked on top of each other. This is the beak separated right here in this brown color. Of course, you can see the eye very easily. The same thing for this one down below. And then even going further down, there's probably another one. Now, looking at this red color, I'm seeing a little bit more than I saw before. So we're gonna kind of explore this one together and see if we can see the image. Of course, we're seeing not just on the very outside of the stone, but we're looking at the interior. So we're looking at this maybe profile image here that you can see. Maybe this is the nose, I'm not sure. We're looking at, this is the eye, this diamond shape. This is getting very high level and interpretive. But looking over here, I guess on the right-hand side, on the interior of the stone, you can see this as being the left eye, this is being the right eye, the nose here. Sorry, I'm shaking it so much. It's pretty heavy. I'm trying to balance it. It's not balancing very well. This is a very high level stone. There are a lot of mammoths on it as well, and we can take a look at one of the mammoths here in a moment. But again, if you know, the large image that we kind of started off in here in the black face with the yellow hair. So it's amazing how deep we can get into these artifacts. And let's go ahead and flip it over, and I want to show you a few more that are on here, some of the common characters. So let's just flip it around and take a peek at it. We can see a silhouette pointing downward here. So it's kind of like a warrior face. You can see how the eye is done right here. Now these images that we're showing here with these weird, you know, these character faces that are on this is just the main outside image. Every little mark and ripple and indention of this stone is a different image. It's unfathomable to think that we somehow forgot about these. It's indescribable. It truly is. I do have a tough time with it sometimes. Here we have a really neat bird head. So this is the land of the bird, and here we have represented the beautiful eye carving. You can see wonderful eye, and the bird's beak right here. And when we get the angle just correct, you can see how the eye and the beak and the crest and everything works together, just showing a giant bird head. So that's the main outside image. It might be a bird person. If we take that eye and turn it into the face of a human being as we turn it away, perhaps. And the crazy thing is, when we turn it away, look at that eye. And so you can see the designs and things, the lines that are coming out of the eye. So you see how the texture of the stone completely changes into like a flame coming out of this eye. And I'll zoom in a little bit on that so that you guys can see the texture change. So if anything else, I mean, it's so hard to see or know what you guys can see and what you cannot see. See, the more that you turn the angle, the better the eye circle comes out. And if, you know, of course you guys are seeing the round eye, the pupil for it. And let's zoom back out so we can get a better look. So it always has that little nub for the nose, and you tune that in. And it even gets a bigger face, it looks like. Really interesting piece. It has a lot on it. So one of the ones that I did kind of want to show you here was, geez, it's going to be so tough to find, you know, these things. It's tough to find the images that we're looking for sometimes. But we can zoom in a little bit in the middle, and I can kind of go deep with you guys on a few of the interior images here. The mouth, of course, the nose, and then the left eye and the right eye. Let's zoom out just a hair and then follow that around. And here we can see it pretty well. Of course, in the shadows. Just on the very top, kind of like the one that we show a lot of, just the young person right there. That's just a silhouette with a person with a bird on its head. And the whole image, of course, is probably a bird, but what we have pointing to the right is a character, and the color here. And I'm going to move this slowly so you guys can keep looking at maybe what you might be seeing, because I know you guys are probably catching things that I am not. But let's go ahead and take a look over here to the side. I want to show you the character pointing right here with the nose. Now you can see, you know, at first glance, you might look at this nub, this bright section, as being the eye. But when you look inside to the section here, you can see how there's an actual carving, you know, with a circle bottom here. It looks really like someone cut it with a butter knife. This is the motif of a bird that repeats over here in North Carolina. It's a common motif, and it's a character, it's a meme. You can see just the smallest little dark spot for the mouth, a ripple for a mouth. And to me, it's very beautiful. When you're just looking at this as if it's just a rock, then yeah, I could understand, you're like, whatever. But it is really nice to be able to see the stuff. And then whenever you get that, you get that perfect angle over there for the bird, and other images over here in the corner are popping out. Of course, you can see the human image with the eye, the nose, and the mouth. And that's what you get with Paleolithic or prehistoric art. It's not much more than that. And the beautiful orange eye is coming out very well here for the left side silhouette that we can see. So let's go ahead and kind of slow down and take a look at it. So now that we've kind of learned the stone a little bit, we know what to expect. And for me, what it's taught me is to go slower, to slow it down, So I see this beautiful eye right here up at the top, and it's actually painted with lashes and everything in it. I'm sure you guys can already start to see it here at the top. Put it right in the middle of the screen here, and we'll zoom back out so that you guys can get a good look at it. So you see how it looks like a boat with a circle in it, right? Little lines coming out of it right in this section. See the dark spot in the middle? Now, what we'll do is we'll take that eye and turn it into, the old man in the mountain right here. He has a wild headdress, right? And now that eye's hidden, but we can poke it back out so that you can see it. Very curious. I see a much larger portrait using that same eye. And we can curve it around here and zoom back out just a little bit and see what else we might be able to find on this. It's a super heavy one, so I do apologize if I'm not getting it correctly. For the main outside image on this one, we're seeing kind of a hominid woman, but it's hard to tell. I love the different brown colors that you're noticing. You might, if you're looking closely at the stone, you might see a circle with another circle. It's kind of like a spiral starting off right here. And just looking here on the right-hand side at profiles for this being the nose. It's a tough one to show. It's got a lot on it, but it's a higher level for sure. I just definitely wanted to share this one with you. I know there's a few images that I'm just not showing correctly that you guys are going to be able to see probably after the fact, and I'm going to be like, shoot, I should have, or I wish I would have, shown this or that. So if you guys see those images, let me know and share them with the rest of the community. All right, folks, I hope you have a great one. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.